Hello. And thinking upon this week's shooting in Texas, it has struck me that this young man had a remarkable lack of compassion for the children and teachers that he killed and for members of his own family. I've been thinking that he was wounded in some very deep way, likely by living in a culture that is racist and homophobic and misogynistic. All those things combined can make a person lose hope and lose the compassion that we all need to live a good life. Compassion is so important in our everyday lives. And I wrote a sermon about some experiences I've had with compassion. In memory of those lost lives and all people who are struggling with despair, I offer this sentiment that compassion is there and can save you. It can save us all. So this is my story. Thanks for listening. Oh, and one little thing. The audio is a little soft, so if you have a hard time hearing, just turn your volume up a little bit. I hope you enjoy it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gail Swain, and I'm the music director here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Santa Cruz County. Last summer, I took a class on sermon writing, and this is my final project. I hope you find it interesting and maybe even amusing. Here we go. A set of minor miracles and acts of compassion. Good morning. Recently, I've been thinking a lot about miracles. Some people say that a miracle is an act of God or the presence of an angel in their lives. Others believe that miracles are unrepeatable, unexplained instances of supremely good fortune. Jesus is said to have performed many miracles. According to Matthew verse 4, he fed thousands with bread and fish, originally suited to serve just a few. There are many other examples, but I always like to think of that one during potlucks. I believe that miracles are acts of ineffable grace. And here's my story to define this. Recently, while driving from our new home in Watsonville 20 miles into Santa Cruz with our 3-year-old granddaughter, I noticed an odd vibration in the steering. I thought, that's odd. On the freeway, the steering smoothed out and I relaxed. I began concentrating on talking and singing with granddaughter in the back seat, wheels on the bus 15 times, as we headed into Santa Cruz to Ocean View Park, the one with the very best slides in town. I turned off the freeway and seconds later took a fairly sharp right turn, and here's where the miracles start to come in. Suddenly, the front axle dropped out of the under chassis of my car. I experienced it as intense vibration and sound. I heard clunk, drag, and then those are not good sounds. Not good sounds at all. I took a deep breath. I shut off the engine, shakily put the vehicle into neutral and steered it as far into the street as I could. And almost immediately, 3 men got out of their cars and pushed my car closer to the curb. Another man dropped off a bright orange traffic cone since my trunk was still jutting out into the street. I turned to the little girl in the back seat and I said, look, our car is having some trouble, but we will be all right. Her big brown eyes looked somberly up at me, but she put on a little smile, and so did I. I called the roadside assistance people, you know, the ones with all the A's in their title. I shakily described our situation while simultaneously extracting granddaughter from her car seat onto the lawn of a nearby church. I called the repair place we used often, and even though my mechanic had retired and it was a completely different owner, he said, "Bring it over." While we waited, granddaughter played with leaves and sticks, and we ate a snack. I sat comfortably on a stone fence in the shade of a benevolent tree. Our wait was a very, very reasonable 10 minutes. Then the tow truck came and took the car, much to her fascination. Meanwhile, I called her mother, my daughter, and described our situation. After a lot of permutations of which of the 4 adults who live at our house could get off work, could come and get us, could get the car to the mechanic to get her back to home in time for her nap, she had a great idea, being the brilliant woman that she is. We had broken down about half a mile from her dad, my ex. He has a car seat for a 3-year-old. Daughter asked him to help, and he was agreeable as usual. He came promptly and picked us up and took us back to Watsonville. We had a nice ride home and had a chance to really check in. It was nice to hear that he's doing well, and it was a pleasant visit with our mutual grandchild in the back seat singing Wheels on the Bus to herself. That day, I had an appointment with a dear friend to pick apples at our house, and we made it home just in time to greet her. There she was, and the 3 of us had a lovely visit. We picked fruit and baked 2 delicious apple pies, which was the highlight of the day for sure. Then, my friend took my husband into Santa Cruz and dropped him off at the mechanics, who got the car repaired that afternoon for a reasonable price. And we were comfortably able to pay for the repair. Car and husband both got home at 6 p.m. that night, safe and sound. Whew. Wow. All of this was a gift. And in later reflection, I realized that had circumstances been slightly altered, it would have been a much, much scarier story. Here's how. The car broke down off the freeway seconds after we had left the freeway, but not on it. 4 strangers jumped in to assist. The professional roadside people with the A's in their name treated us well and were prompt and courteous. 3-year-olds love big machines, as long as their purpose is calmly explained, so there was an educational element with the tow truck for the granddaughter, which helped me keep her engaged and patient while we waited. We had a good space to wait, were safe and shaded with food and water. I have mobility issues, and that stone fence at waist height was in the shade was wonderful. And my ex and I get along. We're not close pals, but we have great love for our mutual child and grandchild. And the timing was excellent. Everyone pulled together and did their best to get us safely home. Our car in the shop and repaired, our meeting with friend on time, our pies in the oven, and a convenient ride into town. Husband and car were home safe before dark, and it all went incredibly smoothly. So since then, I've asked myself, why did this all happen? Thinking about it now, it feels like luck, and it feels like grace. I must say, it also feels like white privilege. We got in big trouble, but we were rescued and supported. Would a person of color be able to say the same in Santa Cruz? If instead of a middle-aged white woman, if I was a teen black person, maybe not the same support. As Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire said, I have always depended on the kindness of strangers. It was playwright Tennessee Williams' insight into the historical privilege of affluent whites that made her so believable, such a wonderful character. My background has allowed me to feel that same assumption, yet I know that not everyone, especially a person of color, is able to share that assumption and receive that depth of support. Was it karma? That thought always makes me laugh. Bragging about your own good karma seems like a real dumb idea to me. You're asking for trouble when you brag about your good karma. It's tempting fate, and I am certainly no saint, as many of you know, although I do try hard to live my UU values and practices and principles. Was it an act of God? No, certainly not. Please forgive my flippancy, but if there is a supreme being, creator, whatever name you might choose, they have way more important matters to oversee than a faulty front axle in my old car. Was it an angel? Same reason, I don't think so. Was it affluence? Well, maybe. After all, our town is one of the most expensive places to live in the whole country. As a professional musician, I fought long and hard to stay in that town. I've been here since 1982, so I guess I'm wealthy enough to stick around. And the repair was expensive, but we found it affordable. So, why did all these things happen? Was it luck? Yes. Was it wealth? Yes. Was it karma or act of God? No. Was it white privilege? Well, regretfully and definitely, yes. Was it grace? I think so. Was it a miracle? Well, maybe. And what is it about miracles? Isn't life itself on Earth miraculous? After all, how many planets do we know for sure bear life? How many have atmosphere, water, and soil suitable for life? Not many. It is a miracle that even the simplest of life form exists here, not to mention humankind with our incredible capacity for invention, for love, for kindness, for music, for art, for joy. And what about us as individuals? How many thousands of people have contributed and combined to make you and I each unique? And aren't we really all miracles? In his book Cosmos, Carl Sagan said, "Every one of us is, in the cosmic perspective, precious. If a human disagrees with you, let him live. In 100 billion galaxies, you will not find another." So in a way, it was a day of miracles. More importantly, it was also compassion in action. Every single person that we encountered that day helped us and was kind to us, even though most of them were not required to. To me, that is what is reproducible in this experience. I may not always be able to manifest such wonderful support for myself, but I am completely capable of giving that support to others. As Anne Frank said, I still believe that people are good at heart. I am so happy for that reminder of the goodness that keeps showing up day after day, time after time, again and again. Whenever I look for it, it's there. I'm going to finish with a poem from our hymnal, which is one of my very favorite books. The Heart Knoweth. We have a great deal more kindness than is ever spoken. The whole human family is bathed with an element of love like a fine ether. How many persons we meet in houses whom we scarcely speak to, whom yet we honor and who honor us. How many we see in the street or sit with in church, whom though silently we warmly rejoice to be with. Read the language of these wondering eye beams, the heart knoweth. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I have officially reframed in my memory the name of that day from Disastrous Car Experience Day to Kind People and Delicious Apple Pie Day. It was not really a miracle or a series of miracles, but it was in some way grace. And I am grateful. And now I'm going to ask you to sing a song with me. I am grateful for all that comes my way, and I am thankful for each and every day, and I am singing, singing praises to the sky, and I am dancing, dancing let my spirit fly. That's how the whole thing goes. Sing it with me. And you can stand up and dance if you want to, because I am. I am grateful for all that comes my way, and I am thankful for each and every day, and I am singing, singing praises to the sky, and I am dancing, dancing, let my spirit fly. One last time, I'm grateful for all that come my way. I am thankful for each and every day, and I am singing, singing praises to the sky, and I am dancing, dancing, let my spirit fly.